Hey Wargamers, today Warhammer community announced a handful of new Combat Patrol boxes, and of course, because Tau are getting their new codex very soon, they have a new Combat Patrol box to go along with that. So let's take a look. It includes a single unit of Fire Warriors. These can be built as either strike teams or breacher teams, of course. It includes a Cadre Fireblade to lead those Fire Warriors, and then an Ethereal on Hover Drone, a unit of Stealth Suits, and a Ghost Keel Battle Suit. So a pretty interesting composition here, a nice chunk, a nice basis for an army. And like all other Combat Patrols, this should cost $140 American. For about $218 worth of models. Right now you can't get the Ethereal on the US website. So, assuming that that's like $25, it's about $218 for all these things if you were to buy them independently. So certainly the value is there. If you exclude the characters, which are kind of a disproportionate value compared to the number of models that you get, it's $170. So if you just want the strike team, the Ghost Keel, and the Stealth Suits, that's $170 worth of value. And so that's not bad, right? That's pretty good. This will certainly save you money if you're looking to buy all of these things. But even if you're just looking at buying two of these units, let's say you want a Ghost Keel and Stealth Suits, you might as well just buy the Combat Patrol box. It's going to work out better for you in the long run to do that. The composition here, though, is pretty different than I expected, to be honest. It has two characters, which is, like I said, very different. I don't think other Combat Patrols typically do this. And so that to me suggests that maybe the Fireblade is going to not be an HQ choice anymore, right? Like if we look at the Sisters box, the Repentia Superior, who is not an HQ unit but a character, is included in that box. And so there's two characters in that box, but they are not both HQs. And so I wonder if the Fireblade is going to move into this kind of, super, I guess, elite version. Not an HQ, but just like a really valuable character that you might bring. The composition is interesting. It's not exactly what I expected, really. So most notably, it includes two characters, and that's different. That's not what I expected. I expected to either be a Fireblade or an Ethereal, but not both. And that's somewhat atypical for Combat Patrol boxes too, right? Like there are some instances where there's two characters, like if we look at the Sisters Combat Patrol, that has a Canoness and a Repentia Superior, both of which are characters, but only one of those is an HQ unit. Now, in the current Tau Codex, both the Fireblade and the Ethereal are HQs, and so I wonder if this suggests that the Fireblade is going to be moving into an elite slot, or maybe a troops choice, something that is not an HQ anymore. I think that would make sense given its lore and the actual mechanics that it has. It never really felt like a very strong HQ unit. So I would welcome that shift. Although if it moves into an elite slot, that is complicated by just how competitive the elite slot is for a Tau army in general. Like both in the current codex, but also historically, elites have been tough for Tau. So having a Fireblade as an elites slot is interesting and would impose some important and influential economies or trade-offs in your elite section, more so than it has been in the past even. Of course, it includes battle suits, right? We would hope that it would include battle suits given how much they have emphasized battle suits in the rules previews that we've gotten so far. Right? Like they could have included a Devilfish or Piranhas. They've done those things in the past for box sets for Tau, but really it makes sense that it's battle suits. But it's not Crisis, right? It's not Crisis suits that they have done in the past, such as we saw with the Start Collecting box. Here we have the Ghost Keel and the Stealth Suits. And the Ghost Keel makes sense because it's about the right size and it's just a really banging model. It's going to be attractive to people that are starting the hobby. They're going to want to pick this up because the Ghost Keel just slaps. It's an awesome looking model, and it's the right size, right? You wouldn't want a Riptide. Riptide's too big, too expensive, too bulky, and frankly, it doesn't look as good as a Ghost Keel. So let's put the Ghost Keel in there, sure. And then if you're bringing the Ghost Keel, it makes sense that you bring Stealth Suits because they're about the right price, right? And they're the right size too, the right model count. It just kind of synergizes both in terms of strategy, but also with kind of the pieces that you're trying to put together here. It makes sense that you're going to bring stealth suits in this Combat Patrol box if you're Games Workshop. This also has the implicit effect of making you buy Crisis Suits full price, right? Like it used to be with the Start Collecting box that if you're going to buy Crisis Suits, you might as well buy the Start Collecting box most of the time, right? Because all those things you would use. If you are looking at this new Combat Patrol box, you can't get Crisis Suits in it anymore, right? And so that means that you have to pay full price for Crisis Suits. And I still think, we'll find out soon, hopefully. I think Crisis Suits are going to be a really powerful unit in the new Codex. And of course, I'm biased. I'm hopeful about that, but I think that they are. And so, if Games Workshop is putting Crisis Suits out of contention in this kind of introductory box, then you have to pay full price, and that means more money for Papa G-dubs. So that's great. And of course, this does replace the Start Collecting box. So the Start Collecting box will go away. We'll right off into the sunset with Frodo and whatever. Go the way of the elves. And we won't have access to it anymore. And so that means that, of course, like I said, you're not going to be able to buy Crisis Suits through that mechanism anymore, but you are going to have access to Ghost Kills and Stealth Suits at a discount in reality. So if you're looking to build up that Stealth Suit type of cadre, then this is great. It's a little less desirable as a repeat purchase compared to the Start Collecting box, though, right? Like, because there's 2 characters in here, you might not want to just spam buying this, right? I used to say when you started the hobby, pick up 2 Start Collecting boxes because that's a great starting set. But I don't know if this is something that you want to buy multiples of if you're starting out. Well, time will tell, of course, with the new Codex. Maybe it is. But having 2 characters in there certainly makes it less desirable if those characters fill the same roles as they have in the past, right? You don't necessarily need 2 Cadre Fireblades. You don't need 2 Ethereals if you buy multiples of these. So you have to figure out what to do with those. One thing that might be appealing is if you use the Fireblade just as a Shazwi. So if you maybe do some really simple conversions or something like that to distinguish it from other Fireblades, or maybe you just call it a Shazwi and don't use any Fireblades in your army at all, something like that. That type of approach might be interesting, giving you a little bit more utility there. And then if you're comfortable converting the ethereal, because again, you don't need tons of ethereals, most likely. If you're comfortable converting those into other things, then this might be still a really good repeat purchase, especially if you're looking to, field an army that's largely based in Stealth Suits and Ghost Kills. So I think this is a cool Combat Patrol box. I'm excited to see it. Again, I like seeing the Ghost Kill in particular featured because it is just a really cool model. And we'll see how it fares in the new Codex. Maybe this is a really awesome start, or maybe it's kind of a more of an aesthetic choice. Let's say that. So we'll find out. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, happy wargaming. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. A while ago I made my own miniature, and if you too want to be the proud owner of an Invasive Wargaming model, you can check out the link in the description below. Down there you will also find links for the Invasive Wargaming Discord server and the Invasive Wargaming Patreon. Really, this channel wouldn't be possible without the support of my patrons. Special thanks to Marcy, A Little Pink Monster, Ben B. Jones, Durza, Ever Keller, Robbie Goodwin, Jose Gomez, Ruger, Drew Pratley, Michael Byrne, Zealous Brimstone, Scott Heater, Stephen Cowan, Jared Egler, Chris Kessler, and Tao Oswell.